The Bot Farm Corporation article. Is it true? I say 100% yes, and let me explain exactly why. So I personally used to play on Jack Poker, okay? And when I first joined this site, I was like, this is fantastic because there was so many terrible players. They were just triple barreling. The games were wild, right? And I was playing 10, 20 cash games, which was the highest limit at that time. I don't know what they are now. I haven't checked, but there was very obvious suspicious behavior going on. Starting with number one is I realized that every single player on that site was playing a very similar strategy. And they were just raising way too wide, playing way too wide pre-flop, and just bet. And then everyone was just calling. It would be bet flop, like 5 calls, bet turn, 4 calls, bet river, like four calls, and like one person had like third pair, the other person had like fourth pair. And then I have top pair, and I'm the winner on like this really wet board. I started like realizing I have to call really light because whatever bots they have running on this site, they're not GTO bots. They're action producing bots. They were specifically designed to be fun to play with. Another thing I noticed on Jack Poker was every time somebody sat out, they would never sit back in and play. It was whenever they sat out, they left, which was kind of weird to me. There was never one time, I played on there for a month and a half, guys. There was never one time where a player sat out, like to go take a piss and then sat back in. And I played long sessions, okay? Like it never happened, which was like, I was like, this is weird. This is not like human-like behavior. These guys were playing for like 8-9 hours straight with no sit-outs, none of them. And then if any of them ever sat out, they just left the table. It was never a sit-out and then come back, which I thought was kind of weird as well. Long story short, I ended up winning $40,000 in like a month and a half. Was emailed that I am no longer welcome to play on the site anymore for just no reason at all. They just banned me for beating their fun bots or whatever you want to, action bots, whatever you want to call them. I'm 1,000,000% confirmed, like in my mind, 1,000,000% that there was action bots or fun bots or whatever you want to call them on Jack Poker. Now let's quickly move on to poker apps like Club GG and Poker Bros and all this other garbage. I tried a few of those apps. I just got the feeling like I was playing bots. There was a couple of situations where I would watch the apps. Like, so you can log in to watch the games happen in the apps, and you see like a couple of big fish or bots that are set up to look like fish, okay? And it makes you want to play in their apps. So then you join the game, and that fish plays a couple of hands, and then he leaves, and then the rest of the players leave. And then maybe you wait 30 minutes, a different player comes in, and it's probably a bot that you're playing up against. You're like, oh, I'm just waiting for that fish to come back. That fish was never real, guys. You have to be very, very, very careful when it comes to club apps. Unless you absolutely know and trust 100% the guy that's running the app, you know him in person, you trust him with everything, then you shouldn't be playing on those apps. I would highly recommend not playing on those apps or any other small poker site that's not reputable and is not trustworthy, because they're going to be sending in bots to get action rolling. It's just not a good situation.